Hey, it's Jesse from Sava Press, and I just wanted to take a few minutes to talk about my novel, Bobby's Dream. This is actually the first novel that I ever wrote. It took me a really long time to finish, and it went through a lot of revisions as my style and technique evolved over the years. So I kept rewriting it and rewriting it. Eventually got it to a version that I was really happy with. It's about 66,000 words. And it is the story of an 8-year old boy named Bobby Williams who has what I call burgeoning psychic powers. And what that means is he's really empathic. He can feel other people's emotions and he can even pick up on their thoughts, so a little telepathy. And he also starts to develop some other stuff that I don't want to spoil for anyone who hasn't read it. Um, at the very beginning of the book, he loses his father to kind of a freak car accident. And so when the main story picks up as Bobby's 8 years old, he doesn't have a father. So his mom, obviously, she's kind of struggling to make ends meet, works. And so he's very kind of alone and isolated and not very popular in school, and he doesn't really understand what's going on in his brain, and so he's very confused and afraid. And one of the ways that he copes is he idolizes this character in a science fiction film, which I call Void Hunter in the book, and it's basically kind of a Star Wars type film, space opera. And the main bad guy in the film is kind of this demonic dragon looking character who wears black armor and has powers that are similar to Bobby's. So he's sort of adopted this creature as his idol. In the book, I call it, the name is Vayn, VE apostrophe YN. So, very alien like, I guess. And so, this is his favorite character, and he focuses on it as a way to, he's trying to understand himself by understanding the character and just, the aesthetics of the character. He's a little kid, so he thinks that it's cool. Much like a lot of people love Darth Vader from Star Wars. I know when I was a kid, I found him kind of freaky, scary, but also just really cool. And now as an adult, yeah, it's one of my favorite things about those movies. Big Star Wars fan, by the way. Um, so the book, of course, revolves around Bobby. There's this bully that picks on him named Clinton Galt, who will actually become another important character in another one of my novels. And but the main characters are Bobby's mother, Colleen, his teacher, Norma, who Norma is, she grew up in a very strict, abusive, religious type family, and she's just wound a little too tight. So she's been a teacher for decades, and she sees Bobby, and there's just something about him that she does not like. It's like she can just sense that there's something going on with him. And then the other major character is the principal of the school, Herb Fairchild. And so Herb has this facade of being, the all American dad, wife, and kids. He's a principal of an elementary school, but he has a deep, dark secret of his own. And he's also very enamored with Bobby's mother. So as the book progresses, Bobby finds out more about his powers, and a lot of things happened that are very kind of psychological and very intense with all of these characters. And in some way or another, all of them are kind of tied in with dreams that they have throughout the book. And it just builds and builds and builds. And at the end, there's kind of just a big sort of explosion of events. So it gets pretty crazy. There's definitely some violence, definitely some adult language. So it's not a young adult book by any means. So I'm very proud of it. It's a very personal book to me. There's a lot of the young me that I modeled Bobby after, although Bobby is obviously smarter and more capable than I was at his age. But it's a great book. It's available in paperback and in the Kindle store. So check it out. See you next time.